Okay, now last time I said that 2 times 3, writing 2 times 3, is just another way of writing 6. It's a much more complicated way. Now if that's true, when we write out our natural numbers starting with 0, and by the way I'll come on to why I separate these with commas in a minute, 1 and so on and so forth, and up to 5. When I come to 6, instead of writing 6 I could write 2 times 3, and then the next one would be 7, I write my 7s like that, and 8, and so on and so forth. Wherever I write 2 times 3 I can write 6, and whenever I write 6 I could also write 2 times 3 because they are the same thing. And so is 6 plus 0, or 6 minus 0, or 8 minus 2. All of these things are ways of writing the number 6. 6 minus 0 is 6, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 plus 0 is 6, 6 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. They're all just ways of writing a number, but 6 is the easiest way of doing it. So when you're asked in school to solve problems like 17 times 4, well, that number is 68. But they're just different ways of writing the same number. Don't get intimidated by them. Now, I said I'd explain why I put commas when I'm writing out the natural numbers like this, why I insert commas, because here's the reason. I put 0 and then I put 1, I add 1 and then I go on, and then I get to number 9, and then I get to number 10 and 11. Well, if there weren't commas there, that might mean if I just wrote 0, 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah, 9, 10, 11, 12, there's no way of telling. It might look like 9, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. So I put commas in here, that's 9, to show that those two digits now go together. These two symbols, the 1 and the 0, and so do those two go together, and so do those two. So that's why I put commas in there, just to make it easier. Now, when we come on to looking at how some numbers are composed of just one digit, and there are only 9 digits as we call them, they are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then when we count more, we add 2 of them together. We put 2 of them together. We get 10 with a 1 and a 0, and we get 11, and so on and so forth. Now, what do these mean? Well, it means that we've got 1 10 here. We count in tens. We've got 1 10 and 0 ones. And here we've got 1 10 and 1 1. And then the next one is 12, 1 10 and 2 ones, and so on. So if I have a number which is 1 4 3 7, those are ones. I've got 7 ones plus 3 tens. Those are tens, and those are hundreds. I got to write on a slant here. And those are thousands. So 1437, another way of putting it, is 1,430, which is 3 tens, 7 ones, 37. 1,437. Okay, now the fact that we count in tens could be any. We could count in 2s, we could count in 8s, we could count anything. As a matter of fact, we just happen to count in tens, which is only really to say that we have 10 symbols. 0, which is our first symbol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 10 symbols. We could limit ourselves to just 8 symbols and count in 8s, or we could limit ourselves just to 2 symbols, 0 and 1. But we, as a matter of fact, count using 10 symbols. So we have ones, tens, 10 lots of tens, which are hundreds, 10 lots of hundreds, which are thousands. Now I can use that fact to simplify addition and so on. Now let me just rewrite, and I'll do it in another color, the number that I just wrote a little earlier, 1437. And let's suppose that we want to add to it 228. I'll draw a line under that. Let's deal first of all with the ones. What's 7 plus 8? Well, it's 15. Now what's 15? We write it down here. Let's write it down over there. 15. Well, that's 5 ones and a 10. So we're dealing just with the ones. So how many ones have we got? We've got 5 ones. And let's just note underneath here that we've got 1 10. Now how many 10s have we got? Well, we've got 3 10s and 2 10s up here. That makes 5 10s. And then another 10 that we generated over here, which is 6 10s in total. So let me just put that down. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 6. And what about hundreds? How many hundreds have we got? Well, we've got 4 hundreds up here, and we've got another 2 hundreds here. That makes a total of 6 hundreds. And how many thousands have we got? Well, we've got 1,000 up here. We've got no thousands down here, so that means we've just got 1. So that was really simple. So 1,437 plus 228 gives us 1,665. Adding up is really, really easy. Well, what about subtraction, multiplication, division? Well, they turn out to be pretty simple too. And let's start with subtraction. Suppose we have 1,437 again, and this time we want to subtract 228. We put subtract there. Well, again, let's deal with the ones. First of all, we've got 7 ones and we want to take away 8 ones from it. Well, we can't, because 8 is bigger than 7. So what we have to do is to borrow some ones from over here. So if we change that to a 2, that means we've got 10 ones that we borrowed, and we're going to stick them over here. Now we've got 17 ones minus 8 ones. How many ones does that give us? 17 minus 8 gives us 9. Now we've got only 2 10s left over here, and we want to take away 2 10s. If we have 2 minus 2, what have we got left? If we have 2 things and we take away 2, we've got 0. So we've got 0 10s left over. Now we'll go to the hundreds. Well, we've got 4 hundreds and we want to take away 2 hundreds. That leaves us 2 lots of 100. And now look at the thousands. We've got 1,000 and we want to take away no thousands. Well, 1 minus 0 is 1. So that's subtraction, simple enough. We start with the ones, and then we move on to the tens, and then we move on to the hundreds, and then we move on to the thousands. So 1,437 minus 228 is 1,200, no tens, and 9. 1,209.